All right, what's going on? My name is Matthew Armstrong and I'm here with Jerry at the Echo / Shindaiwa booth. Now, if you didn't know, Shindaiwa is owned by Echo, but a lot of people do not know the differences between the Echo, the SRM-2620 and the Shindaiwa T262. Now, in case you don't recognize this baby, this is the same trimmer that I use to get the most viral TikTok in the world on string trimming, okay? It's got about 65 million views right now, and in case you hadn't seen it, I think it's pinned at the top of our page. Look, we can all agree that admin sucks. So what if I told you I could reduce your admin workload by over 75%? You don't want to do it, right? Well, that's exactly what Check does. Go download the Check app today to dramatically decrease the amount of time you're spending on admin. But Jerry, I would love for you to tell us, what is the difference between these two and which one would you recommend to someone who's starting out?
Absolutely, Matthew, be happy to. So basically you start at the bottom here with the power head where it all starts. Almost the same power heads here. So you're still talking about a 25.4 cc power head. Okay. Lots of good power there. From there, they cut a couple subtle differences here. So if you look at here, the throttle handles are both a little bit different. Shindaiwa has a little bit longer lever for the trigger, so you might be able to feather that slightly differently than you can on the Echo model. So again, kind of personal preference there, sure. Right?
Yep.
When you talk inside the tube here, Shindaiwa has a solid drive shaft. The Echo has our standard flex cable drive shaft. Both have great durability. Again, personal preference here. Some people feel like the solid shaft is a little bit more or less vibration than the flex cable. So again, a little bit of a personal preference there. When you get up to the top head of the cutting head, similar cutting heads, I think both have the speed feed design. Obviously you can see here that the Echo is a little bit leaner profile, a little bit closer. You got a little bit wider shield here on the Shindaiwa. Maybe a little bit more coverage if you're in an area that might have more rocks, throw a little bit more debris, give you a little more protection from that standpoint. So two powerful units, some slight differences that might drive a personal preference one way or the other, which one you like.
Yeah, now these shafts, are these different materials? Like this one definitely feels like aluminum. This one feels more like a steel.
Yeah, these are both going to be aluminum tubes. We call these tubes. So the shafts on the inside, tubes on the outside.
Okay, gotcha.
Both are going to be aluminum tubes. This is one just they call it a shine or a bright finish, where this is more of a matte finish. So from a weight and durability standpoint, everything else about the tube is going to be very comparable.
Awesome.
The big difference is going to, well, not the big difference, the difference is going to be inside. Where again, the solid shaft here versus the flex cable here. A lot of people hear flex cable, they think it's less durable. Flex cable still has a lifetime warranty, so you're not shorting yourself anything on that by going to a flex cable. More personal preference on the solid versus the flex cable on the drive shaft.
And one last question that I found as a Shindaiwa owner, most of the parts are interchangeable, right?
A lot of them are, yes. They're not 100% across the board, but a lot of the same commonality with parts are a big focus what we have in the Echo family, so a lot of commonality there between the two units.
Awesome, super helpful. Thank you so much for your time.
You bet, Matthew. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. All right, so we're talking about the differences between the Shindaiwa T262 and the Echo SRM-2620. Okay, and it was really helpful from Jerry what he said, but I just want to kind of expound on a couple of things of why, to me, it's worth an extra $10 to go with the Shindaiwa over this Echo. Now, just to be clear, the price tag on the Shindaiwa T262 is $369.99. On the, gosh, I can't ever remember the letters. Why do we have so many letters in this industry? SRM-2620 is $359.99. Now, if you could come up really close, this is probably going to take you to get really close. Come over here, we're going to talk about these handles. To me, this is why it's worth an extra $10. And to some, this is a really subtle difference, so it really does come down to personal preference. But for me, I'm going to tell you that I don't think there is a more comfortable handle in this industry than this trimmer. I'm going to show you why. This is very cushy. I really like that about this unit, and it's very light, so that's kind of the safety. That has to be pressed down before you can pull this trigger, but when this trigger is pulled, it lays completely flat. So it's as if you're just like kind of holding, like I lock that trigger between here so that it's kind of like, it's almost effortless for me to hold, especially since once that is pressed down, I can have this pretty loose and still maintain control as I put pressure on the back of my forearm. See, I'm holding the thing up right now, and it's really pretty easy to hold, to just hold, because it falls flat. Now, with the Echo, this one just does not, for me, feel as ergonomically correct. If you're out there and you're cutting a lot every day and you are the trimmer man, if you're a solo or if you want to get a comfortable trimmer for the person who's running your trimmer, this is worth considering, because notice, not only is this trigger heavier, so it takes more effort to pull down, whenever it's completely compressed, it is not flat. And so you have this awkward deal where these two fingers stick out a little further, and to me, that creates more fatigue in those two fingers that I think you're gonna feel in the forearm throughout the day. Again, it's not as easy to compress that and to hold it. So to me, that's what makes it more worth it to spend that $10. Again, go try it, but you might not have one of the dealers around you, but again, chances are, if you have an Echo dealer near you, they're also selling Shindaiwa, because it's the same company. So I would definitely recommend you take a look at that, and drop in the comments which one you prefer if you have ran both, okay? Thank you much.